Hello, I am Dr. Thompson, Akwo, Ntuba, international physician, certified professional and expert in global health, USA, specialist medcom, and I'm speaking to you today on the subject of reproductive rights of women vis-a-vis the recent anti-abortion laws which have been passed by the Texas state legislature, in which are going to be signed into law by the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, or His Excellency Greg Abbott, who is also looking forward to another term as governor. Now, let me begin by saying that I am grateful that the zygote that was me when my father and my mother came together, and the sperm and the ovum came together and produced that zygote under embryology in medical school as we know it, was not destroyed, wasn't aborted. Because out of the many millions of sperm, there was just one chance that I could be me. So I am grateful that my life was not cut away. And here I am, I have an opportunity to be able to speak to people and to talk to people. Now, what I'm actually saying is that reproductive rights and choices of women have been an issue for a very, very long time, as long as man has been in the process of forming civilized societies and governance. First of all, laws are made by people for people. And as people are dynamic and societies are dynamic, laws are supposed to also be dynamic. So as a global health expert, maternal and reproductive health, child health, and survivor are part of the modules of a work or studies and related issues. The signage into law of the anti-abortion laws that have been made in Texas have actually reintroduced this discussion of women's rights and freedom and equality and equity and gender and all of that. And then also bringing in the discussion of who has the right to make the decision about a woman's reproductive system and processes. The medical, legal, and ethical aspect of the discussions have also come to the forefront. The other day I was out there with a group of many women who think that this is a social issue, and they had mobilized themselves, and the belief that they are going to participate and partner with others in making sure that this Texas law doesn't become the law of the land in Texas as it relates to abortion. But let me make it clear. First of all, I must warn you. I am a trained international physician. I have clerked patients in antenatal practice. I have delivered babies in the labor ward in teaching hospitals. I have also been involved in neonatal care, in neonatology, under pediatrics rotations in my house officer's job. I'm not a neonatologist, I'm not a pediatrician. I'm a consultant, certified expert in global health. And I'm saying that part of our work in global health is reproductive health, maternal health, child health. So there is no way that we will run away from these discussions, especially we who are experts and consultants in global health. And my subspecialization in medcoms, so health and medical communication, give me the other advantage to be able to bring this discussion to the fore and communicate to you what our colleagues, our experts are saying as it relates to these issues. First, we should look at the law because there are different elements and aspects of the law. The human rights aspect of it will be looked into. What the feminist movement and people are saying is also there. But I start by saying that when you actually get to know that a product of conception has life is not very, very certain, because the Texas law says that after 6 weeks you cannot commit abortion. And so the proponents of this law and the formulators actually they study embryology, and I'm sure they believe that they are experts and they know a lot to tell us that life to them after 6 weeks is what life is all about. And so before 6 weeks they can commit abortion, right? You who has the law in place according to your thinking and according to your schooling, your studies in embryology and all of that. So you're telling the people, you're telling the women that a fetus, after fertilization, the zygote only becomes life to you after 6 weeks. Who are you fooling? So some people say that, by that time, most women don't even know they're pregnant. Well, that is another discussion to begin with. But you know that when the sperm and the ovum come together, they actually produce a product of conception. And that zygote, though it goes through a systemic series of changes and processes in order that specialization can take place and different cell groups can be able to move and get located, so that in embryologic development in the different phases and different weeks and times of the pool can differentiate to specialized organs. There is life when life comes together. Just like, because plants don't have a heartbeat. Plants don't have the opportunity of us taking ultrasound and putting it on their heart and their chest. That doesn't mean that plants, as small as they are, don't have life, right? So these issues are very complex. And again, even the way the law has been written, stop fooling yourselves, those of you who are jubilating that you are conservatives and the law has been made for you. Actually, there is provision for abortion before 6 weeks. And let me warn you, life starts when life is produced. So all of that is nonsense, it's stupid. Now, let me go forward and come a little bit backward. 6 weeks to almost 39 weeks, depending on where you are, because even in this text, they say that if there is a miscarriage, all right, after 20 weeks, you got to deal with a product like a human being. You have to report it. It has to be reported and put, in the records or the gazette, as they will say in French. And then you have to dispose of this product as life. But again, the legal aspects and the uniqueness of this status as it relates to the state of Texas is that federalism gives states certain rights. That's why they will tell you that, oh, this is a decision of public health. Or even with COVID, we had problems where people are saying that, oh, what CDC is saying is not in line with what the states are saying, and the states actually are the bosses and the authorities in public health. Well, that's very good. But there are some things about life and safety of the people of the collective come together, community of a nation, which go above all of that state nonsense. So the first thing is that the law on its own is not a reason for you to worry. For me, it's not a reason for you to worry. Why do I say it's not a reason for you to worry? It on its own doesn't stop abortion. So it's not even help any conservative. It says that you will not commit abortion after 6 weeks. So they can commit abortion before 6 weeks, right? That's one point you should know. The other thing I am saying is that, and I want you to listen to me carefully, I have never committed abortion before as a physician. And I practiced medicine, curative practice for a long time before I moved or transitioned into global health and began to do policy work and all of that related to health systems and health policy and governance and related issues. But let me make this point categorically clear. Choice is not the same as committing. Do you know that even the God of the Old Testament is a God of choice? Because he puts these choices before you and then advises you to make the right choice. So if that is done in the name of God, it makes no sense on its own. Because the point about it is that, you see, even though we have all of this, thou shalt not, the Bible makes it clear in Deuteronomy. Among the 10 commandments, one of them is, thou shalt not kill. But there is a little bit of a confusion because the law itself doesn't come generally and say that there should be no abortion. It just says after 6 weeks. And so that's one area that we are not in agreement. Because life doesn't start only at 6 weeks. Life starts before then. Then the other thing about it is that you cannot come and tell somebody that, oh, if a woman is raped, she should carry the product of the rapist. She's aware that she's been raped. And she's pregnant for the rapist. And the rapist is gone. She doesn't even know the person. Now, she's not only dealing with the post-traumatic stress and problems of that event, she has to carry this trauma of a reminder, according to Governor Abbott and his Abbott people. So they don't care. After all, they got no uterus. These women are saying that this law has been made in a very open-ended blanket way, and it makes no sense because considerations have not been given to certain people. It's been done in a way that they are appealing to certain people as it relates to the coming gubernatorial elections in Texas. That is why the Attorney General of President Biden's administration is already out to say they will do everything to make sure that women can have the abortions that they need. Now, we see that we create a situation of confusion because right at the Supreme Court there is Roe v. Wade. But I want to tell people also, be careful with your Roe v. Wade, belief and defense. Because America, though predominantly a common law environment, is a mixed justice and legal system. In Louisiana, we talk about civil law because the French were predominantly in that area. And so the laws in the place evolve along those lines. But let's talk about case law as it relates to Roe v. Wade. Case laws are made as precedents. They are not legislatures on their own. That is to say that the judge and or panel of judges will actually decide the final decision or judgment in the case based on statutes, regulations, and all the other resources that they have within their legal profession. When that has been made, that is why when we talk about case law or precedents or stare decisis, we actually come to understand from our knowledge that case laws actually are reported in law reports and other gazettes where lawyers can study them extensively, because most of the times it is presumed in common law environments that it is very difficult for you to actually win a case which is similar to that which was decided by a judge or panel of judges and stands as a case law. So that is the basis of, oh, there's Roe v. Wade, there's Roe. Now let me tell you something. It takes just one person majority in the Supreme Court for any previous case decision to be overruled, overturned. So Roe v. Wade can be overturned. Roe v. Wade can be overturned. Now, that is what is actually creating the problem. Roe v. Wade on its own is case law, but case laws are not statutes. That's why they talk about fighting activism on the bench. So, we are saying that people should know that this issue of abortion is a very polarizing issue. And it has nothing to do with what conservative evangelicals believe. If we preachers don't do our job, if we don't go out there and help people with resources, if we cannot help these young ladies who are pregnant at 15, 16, and many of them are having sex with some of you who call yourself political leaders. Some of those babies they are aborting are your babies. And you are the ones who are hiding behind all of this and saying these things. So you win all the times everywhere. The point is, I am a person of choice. Though I am a Christian believer and preacher. What do I mean by choice? The God of the Bible is a God of choice. He says, choose you this day who you will serve. Choose you this day. He tells you, thou shalt not, but still tells you why you shouldn't. Because there is repercussions. So you shouldn't be legalizing and punishing people for things they have not done. And what you decide should not be a reason why people should follow your decisions. I talk about choice, or choice that goes with responsibility and accountability. That's what God says. Whether we like it or not, women in Texas will cross the borders. Now, I am aware of the fact that federalism makes provision for states, to be specific. There's the death penalty in Texas. There's no death penalty in the state of New York or Illinois or certain states. So, you may not be able to overcome the new anti-abortion law in Texas. But that which gives the people the right to choose, the opportunity for them to look at all of these things and make a choice, the provision should be there. And then the human rights bodies have said women have a right to decide about their bodies. And so, I may not have been exhaustive in my discussion. I have not concluded for you. But in giving you my opinion, I am saying that you should be able to have mercy and review that which you have passed in the name of votes. I repeat, review that which you are passing in the name of votes.